You are listening to This Podcast Could Have Been an Email, presented by Berkshire Community College.
Welcome to This Podcast Could Have Been an Email, soon to be a conference presentation at the TLSD
May
conference.
1st. Yeah, I just reached out. So for folks who don't know, the TLSD conference is a teaching, learning,
Student development,
thank you, as far as I got. Conference held at this year at Bristol Community College. And there was opportunities to submit like a presentation to do for all the folks in higher education. And Adam submitted our podcast and it got accepted. And so he and I will be presenting all the things great about how this podcast could have been an email to the masses on the East Coast. I say East Coast. I don't mean like the entire East Coast. I say this all the time. People are like, what do you mean? I was like, the East Coast.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the western part.
Trust me, coming from the Midwest, not only do people think we're on the East Coast, they are pretty sure we live in Boston.
Yeah, we might as well,
Always.
right? So,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
People think Western Mass is Amherst. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, I will tell you that I come from Minnesota, and when I meet someone who doesn't know that, they're often like, "Oh yeah, Minnesota's great. Madison's a great city," which is in Wisconsin, not in Minnesota.
I actually don't know anything about Minnesota. Ask me at the Capitol. St. Paul?
You know something about Minnesota?
Like, yes, I was like,
Oh.
that could be Michigan.
I didn't even know that
I don't know
much.
the difference between Michigan and Minnesota.
I think Michigan's capital is Ann Arbor, where the University of Michigan.
Wouldn't know. I know nothing about. I couldn't even point it out on a map. One of them's near a lake.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the middle of the country and at the top, Jonah. Anyway, thank you, Nick and Bree, for being on our podcast today. This is really exciting. This is the second time that we've had students on the podcast, and we're all here for you guys, so it's really nice to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here.
This is fun. I know Bree, but this is actually the first time Nick and I have met.
Yeah.
Same.
And I think it would be helpful probably. I can't assume when we have people who work here that there's an assumption that we're not that big, so most people know most other people, and we help to get our colleagues to know them more deeply. But other than your professors, I know you're both really engaged on campus. There are probably listeners who don't know you. We do have a couple of Minnesota listeners,
do.
and they definitely don't know you.
So I'm sorry for my cracks on not knowing anything about Minnesota to your two Minnesota listeners.
You're going to get some letters, Jonah.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe you could just start out by telling us who you are, what brought you to BCC and what you do while you're here.
Yeah. So my name's Nick. I am 19 years old in my first year at BCC. I went to Mount Greylock High School, and I really didn't do so well. I didn't care about academics whatsoever. I was big into athletics. Got injured, and it was like 11th grade, and I had a 2.2. I was like, what am I doing?
Wow.
So, worked my butt off for the next couple of years, and then I got to BCC, and I knew that I wasn't just going to let it, go under the rug. So I hit the ground running. I joined SGA. I started my own club. I made it's Phi Theta Kappa, the honor society, and I got some roles in student government. I'm parliament and historian, and I've just loved the experience so far.
You're the parliamentarian?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll come back to that. I'm also curious to know what sports you played in high school, but the Phi Theta Kappa thing was a nice little segue to you, my friend.
Exactly.
My fellow Phi Theta Kappa member. So I also had a similar journey to Nick's. I did not do well in high school, and then COVID hit and senior year kind of fell off for everybody, but especially for me. I graduated with close to a 2.2, something like that, maybe even less. And I was actually the opposite when I came to BCC. So I took a couple years off. I'm 23 now, and I did not hit the ground running. I had completely and utterly planned to come to this campus to do my schoolwork and my classes and to leave.
You failed.
Yeah, I imagine how that turned out. And here I am sitting student government president with so many connections on campus, and I've done so many wonderful things, and I'm forever grateful for it. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm in so many leadership positions now that I never, had the confidence to be in. But stepping on BCC, it's like it opened up, so many doors and opportunities for me, and it's been an incredible experience.
So you've got some cool Phi Theta Kappa news too, don't you?
I do. So we are heading to the State House on May 7th. I had the honor of being honored as an All-American honoree on the team.
Wow.
It's a academic team from community colleges all over who have Phi Theta Kappa chapters. And Jeff, our Phi Theta Kappa program advisor, he nominated me, and it was a really incredible opportunity. And I was really honored. And all of the honorees are going to Boston to the State House to represent after the induction on May 5th here on campus.
Wow.
It's really cool. I think we have 2 students. Bree's one of them.
Yes, and I believe Melanie Myers is the other one.
And President Kennedy and Jeff Tabor and I get to go and celebrate you. So it's really exciting.
I'm super excited. Thank you guys.
If you think about all the people who have won that have received that designation, it's just our time at the college, and then you think about where they are now and who they are now, and just knowing that like that is just proof positive that you're going to do so many amazing things like in this community and for this county and for the Commonwealth.
You guys can't make me cry like the first segment.
I'm trying.
That's crazy.
I'm really trying. Let's see what else I can do. Pull out some puppies and kittens. I wanted to have a sound effect of a bow, 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 bow,
You should have.
for when you announced that you were you were making that designation. That's awesome. But no, I know a lot of the folks who have gone through that and I've written spotlights on them. I've worked with them for years, and they are all today like they're our rock star alum, and they're doing really, really important things.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So you have a bar you have to meet, Bree. So no more 2.2s. We have a bar.
No, you'll be happy to know I have very, very highly surpassed that 2.2 since I've been at BCC.
Excellent. That's great. That's awesome.
It's so I didn't know that this was what the two of you were going to say, but it's so cool that high school wasn't your thing and that you came here. And not only does it sound like you're both doing pretty well academically, that you were maybe neither one of you was that involved in leadership opportunities in high school, and you found it here. What got you to take that first step?
For me, taking that first step was really just getting involved. In high school, I did try to get into some leadership opportunities outside of athletics. Unfortunately, there's kind of a weird stigma at Greylock if you don't know the people. And I just couldn't get into them. So when I came to BCC, I knew that no one knew me. And to a lot of people, that could be scary, like, oh, I don't know anyone. But you can all meet these people for the first time. They don't have a stigma about you that you mess around in class or whatever. So I really enjoyed that because that wasn't me anymore. 9th and 10th grade, I just didn't care. I messed around with my friends. We got in trouble, and I don't regret that because it got me to where I am now.
Right.
But not having that preset personality, I think, was amazing here.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. I think for me, it was really making that first personal connection on campus. I had a great faculty for my first ever class on campus. It was Chris Laney.
Yeah.
And he, he saw like my passion, and he saw, that I was new, and he, pulled me over, and he was like, I think you'd be great for the honors, program classes. And that was, kind of my first step in. And then through him, I met Tony Buckley and was able to join what was MSSO at the time. And it was just like that personal connection. Tony ended up being my neighbor, like literally 2 minutes down the road. I live in Hinsdale, so like finding neighbors are really, like really, really special. And it blossomed from there. And through Tony, I met Erica and was able to start my work in QSA. And then I met Abby, and it was just like this kind of very cohesive care model of like, this person saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and then they told this person and they told this person, and now my net is so wide. So it was really just those connections made on campus.
That's great. There's a lot from both of you to unpack, and I hope that our listeners stick around after the break, which we'll go to right now.
Celebrate student achievement at Berkshire Community College. Join us on Tuesday, May 5th from 2 to 3 p.m. in the Connector for the Phi Theta Kappa induction ceremony, honoring students who have demonstrated excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service. It's also exactly what Bree was just talking about in the podcast. Phi Theta Kappa is the International Honor Society for Community Colleges, recognizing some of BCC's highest achieving students. Come support these outstanding scholars and be part of a proud academic tradition. The event is free and open to the public. Learn more on our website or just check in with Jeff Tabor and Transfer Counseling. He's running the whole thing.
And we are back with this podcast. Could have been an email with Bree Booker and Nick. Nick, is it Bellora?
Bellora.
I think I got it.
Awesome.
It's great. It was great to kind of hear both of you talk about how you got into BCC. And there were two, I think, really important themes. The first one was that you can become an academic all-star, like literally be recognized for that, which is an extremely prestigious thing to do. Even if that wasn't your path in high school. I think that was one really cool theme. And then the other one was what Bree left us with, which is this idea that if you take the first step and take the first opportunity and make the first connection within our community, it can open up all of these other doors for you.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm curious about is maybe step 2. So you kind of and Nick, maybe I'm interested actually in going to you first, because Bree talked about how she found herself. It sounded for you like you were just like, hey, I tried to do this in high school.
Right.
I was excluded. I'm going to start day one. But maybe tell us a little bit more about who it was that you connected with and how you got going.
Yeah, so honestly, my biggest connection I think I've made on campus is Abby Powers.
Yeah.
She is just such a wonderful woman, and
She was our last guest.
Oh, yeah.
We love you, Abby.
I love you, Abby. Yeah, she has helped me so much. She wrote some of my letters of recommendation. She just is such an amazing figure on campus. Anyone can go up and talk to her. And yeah, I mean, she even gave me some helpful words on starting my own club. And yeah, it's just been great.
What was the club?
It was the bodybuilding club.
Oh, cool.
Oh, congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we only did one semester, but it was really fun.
Yeah, cool.
Are you doing more semesters?
No, so I'm going to UMass Amherst after this
He's
semester.
leaving
I
us.
know.
Taking the club.
Sorry.
You're taking the club with you. You didn't pass the baton to someone else.
I know.
to keep it going?
I should have. But I'm actually going to start, I think, one there. I know they have a powerlifting club, but not a bodybuilding club.
You may have missed the opportunity to say past the dumbbell.
Oh, that was
Is that-
true.
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
a thing
you
people do?
did.
Do people do that? Is that a thing?
No, it's like a pun.
a baton, but
Like,
when
'cause
you lift weights, use
it would be a
dumbbell.
play on word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this might get edited out.
We're gonna cut that. Everyone pause for edit. We're gonna cut this part out. I'm kidding. I'm not going to.
I think Abby is one of those people that has that innate ability to just look at you and be like, I know that you don't know, but like I know.
Yeah.
You know that I see that in you. And I feel that with a lot of people in student engagement. I'm biased, obviously. For me, my person is kind of very much in partnership with Abby, Erica Barretto.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to start crying. It's so like beautiful to be seen as a person, especially when you were like in like the adult world is so much different than the world that you live in high school. It's a different group of people. It's a different, way of moving throughout the world. And it's a different person that you are. You're exploring yourself in the world outside of these parameters. And it's hard to, believe in yourself and trust in yourself, and especially in the age where we're being influenced by so many outside factors. And to really be seen for like what you're passionate about and like who you are and your values, and to be able to be in a space that fosters like the creativity and the push to work on those values and, do things to spread those values within the community is so important. And above all, I feel so seen, especially by Erica. She sees me for all. And like when I don't have faith in myself, she has enough faith, for the both of us. And it keeps me going, knowing that there's someone who always has that belief in you, even if you don't have it in yourself.
It's such a powerful kind of message to our listeners, who are, I think, mostly people who work here, that these little moments of encouragement, or when you see something in a student that you work with, that you tell them that, and that can really launch their lives in a completely different direction. And I think that's one of the special things about this institution. Actually, Jonah was telling a story this morning about his sister's experience and with our dean of nursing. Yeah,
there's a candidate for dean of nursing that we got to meet with at president's cabinet, and we were talking about how the faculty are super, like how they work together, how they create a culture together, how they like to support one another and work through the process of nursing. Nursing is incredibly complicated with accreditations and with policies, and
Absolutely,
it's wild. And it's very, very strict. And so all of that is like already a pressure that our faculty and staff have on their shoulders. But then they were having these conversations. I just mentioned on top of all of that, like we're lucky that our faculty and staff pay such like close attention to their students that you don't get in other places. My niece is at UMass Amherst, and her freshman year, she was one of 100 students in a classroom. And my sister who you never would have thought would have graduated from anything, anywhere, she's now a nurse at BMC, but it was literally the care from the dean of nursing, who you think would be so elevated beyond the day-to-day of like, student interactions, who fought for her for 18 months with the Massachusetts Board of Registration for Nursing to ensure that she got her license.
Yeah.
And then she did. Like, that's a level of commitment and
it's
care.
It's incredible. I think if there's one thing that I hope that you guys remember from like my time at BCC, it's that has been the most incredible thing. That has been the thing that I will continue to rave about. And I hope that you guys know that like that is what keeps students coming. And that's what keeps students leaving BCC with associate's degrees and transfer credits and all that.
Yeah, you don't have to leave. You can get another one. Let's get another one. Let's get another associate's degree. What are you doing?
It'll be good for us if she moves on and does something, and then she'll come back and serve the community in a different. Yeah,
I'll come back and visit, guys.
We'll be cheering for you from over here. I think just to put a bow on your story. My mom had a medical issue not that long ago and ended up in the ER and at the hospital, and Jonah's sister took care of her and raved and raved and raved about how wonderful this particular nurse was. And then like the next day she's like, I think that you might know her brother, and they work together. I'm like, I think this is before we co-hosted a podcast.
Absolutely, yeah. It is fascinating. The stories that you're telling are the stories that, like, the work that we do in marketing. It's trying to understand what is our brand. And for the longest time, we did this survey back in 2018. We asked everyone, and they all said the brand of BCC, because we're the first community college. We've been around for 65 years. We're caring, we're welcoming, we're supportive, we're family. It's interesting. We just did the survey again, and what you're talking about with inclusion and welcoming, like that inclusion has bubbled up all the way to the top. And so that is one of our key terms when it comes to our brand. And I think you're speaking to it directly when you say like that's the sense that you're getting on this campus. So it's actually one thing we were hoping to get is like, does this institution instill trust? And the question is, how can you have trust without having some sort of support?
Absolutely,
right? So,
yeah. And there's a lot of respect, right? You can't have anything without respect. You can't interact with someone you don't respect. And I think above all, there's a lot of respect for the potential that students have and where they are in life right now, and that's super important.
Just to add one thing onto what you guys are saying about trust and having this, a pre-established community college. My grandmother went here, my mother went here, and I'm here.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so
it's a legacy thing.
I have a similar story. I have 6 siblings, and every single one of them, plus my parents, plus my niece, and my nephew is coming here next year. They all went.
Oh,
here.
wow.
I didn't. I went to MCLA. I did take their workforce classes though, so I feel like it's one class is enough. I took their Adobe and InDesign class.
So is you working here like penance for not continuing?
Do you know how many times I applied to work here? Yes, I clearly had to show up somehow because this is also my next door neighbor. So
I've never taken a class here, but I am taking the public speaking class through Workforce.
Are you really?
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about
awesome.
it. Yeah, I think. It starts this month, and it'll be really great. I think we're at our next break, and when we get back, let's talk a little bit about SGA.
Absolutely.
All right, we will be right back with This Podcast Could Have Been an Email.
Big news for the Berkshires and for our campus, as Berkshire Community College has officially named its next president, Dr. Hera Charlier. Following approval by the Massachusetts Board of Higher Education, Dr. Charlier will step into the role on July 1st, bringing years of leadership focused on student success, workforce development, and community impact. It's a new chapter for BCC and for the region we all call home. Learn more about Hera on our website and be prepared to welcome her to the college this summer.
Welcome back to This Podcast Could Have Been an Email. We do have 2 of our student leaders, both of whom are part of the Student Government Association. For our listeners who don't know what the Student Government Association is, means they didn't listen to our last podcast with student government leaders, but that's all right. Bree, could you kind of give us an idea of what it is and what you all do?
Absolutely. So I'll give it from the student's perspective. SGA, Student Government Association, is more than a club. It's a program. It's an organization who strives to represent the whole of student body on campus and make student life as smooth, as joyful, as community-based as possible. We do all different types of things, from addressing facility concerns to hosting events to talking about the whole college budget as a whole. We do a lot, and we try to do it all for students.
That's great. And I am guessing... So I'm a little bit of a Robert's Rule nerd myself, and but I'm not sure that everyone who listens to this would know what a parliamentarian is and does.
Yeah, so parliamentarian, I basically oversee that the rules are followed during meetings. People talking out of terms, conversations going on too long, going off topic. I kind of just like to bring it all in and really focus on what we're doing so we don't have 3-hour-long meetings.
Yeah.
Nick has the gavel.
I do have the gavel. It's pretty cool.
Have you had to call anyone out of order?
I have.
Yes, I can imagine.
Is it a story that you can podcast tell or not?
It's just telling people, like, basically.
It happens so
Let's bring it
often.
back.
Is it even a story as much as it's a reoccurring event?
Point of order.
Exactly.
We mentioned this at when we had last semester, when we had other members of the SGA on our podcast. We mentioned that, like, this was one of the most engaged student government association groups I've ever seen, and that's post COVID, and y'all are just crushing it. Like, you're doing such. I mean, you guys
Thank
are
you.
you're regularly engaged. You are completely changing the way that people interact. It's really, I think it's tricky because most people who come to BCC, they don't get to engage in extracurriculars because they just really treat it as a commuter school, and that's because all they have time for, right? Like, so my sister, she came, showed up to classes, left, and then went to clinical.
Yeah.
She just didn't have. She's raising 3 kids. She's got a job. She just can't, right?
Yeah.
But the folks who can really get a different sense of like themselves through that process. Have you experienced any of that going through anything with SGA or student clubs and organizations on campus that you feel has changed your identity or your perspective?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that I try, I don't know if I mentioned this, I am sitting president for SGA the year of the semester of 2026, and I try to emphasize that your voice matters. And I think that's also something that I learned about myself, is that speaking up and having an opinion isn't actually a bad thing. And, you know, people want to hear what you have to say, and what you have to say can really invoke change and movement. I think that it really opened my eyes to not only, you know, my ability to be able to do the logistical things, to plan, to write an email, to, you know, reach out, to network, but it also opened my eyes to how much potential there is in like the community and around the students like with me. Like Nick is a great example. If he were not transferring, he would be my next year's president. But I'm very proud of you for transferring.
All right, Q.
But it just
a little mad.
There's
proud.
so much, a little bit. There's so much potential for collaboration, and you are just so much stronger as a group than you are individually. And I have been so proud of this SGA this year. I've been so proud of the ambition. You know, I've been here for 2 years, and the first year that I was here, we were definitely still in that COVID lull.
Yep.
But now there is such like a push to like want to interact with people and to want to see people on campus. And they're, you know, everybody in SGA is all working for the other students outside of SGA. They want to see them around. They want to see them, you know, in the events and in SGA and doing what they want to do. And that's really special.
All right.
There's a really cool thing. So a lot of what you talked about makes me think about student development theory. So the work that we do in student affairs is grounded in theory, and there's purpose behind it. And interestingly, one of the theories that I like the most is called self-authorship. And the woman who's considered the kind of grandmother of that theory is named Marcia Baxter McDola, and Jeff Tabor, when he went to graduate school, had her as one of his faculty.
Wow,
Wow.
that's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Tammy Westlake, who works in our advising center, had Vincent Tinto, who's the godfather of retention work in her grad programs. And we have some really impressive people who we work with. But what's cool about self-authorship is that it's really focused in meaning making. So you help students kind of look at what's going on for them and really do it in 3 different ways. One is cognitively, and it's this idea that you're responsible for your own thoughts. And I think as you've talked today, right? You've talked about how you were as a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, 14, 15-year-old, and how maybe that's different than a 17 and an 18-year-old and now a 19-year-old. Then there's this idea that we have kind of our intrapersonal, the things, our own feelings and values and thoughts, and then interpersonal, how we're connected to other people. And this whole time that I've been listening to the two of you talk, I've been thinking about how you've framed you're making meaning of your own experience as students here through these interactions with different people on campus, and how it fits into those 3 buckets. And it makes me feel really warm and fuzzy because it shows that there's intention behind the work that we're doing with people. And I guess maybe what I'm curious about is that's been behavior that's been modeled for you, and you're both going out to do amazing things.
Right.
How might you interact with people as you move through your life?
I think BCC has changed the way I interact with people in the most positive way. I am no longer as socially anxious as I was, clearly. I'm out and about and I'm doing things. But I think all in all, above all the like academic and professional and networking connections I've made, they've all been human connections. I've all felt connected to the human being. Like Adam, like, yes, you have your title. Jonah, yes, you have your title. But like, these are cool people, you know, these are people that I feel safe around. These are people that I know, you know, have their heart in this job as well as just their paycheck. I think that it has opened my eyes to the ability to find people like that in the world, and to have those people not be necessarily in the same demographics, age, education, or regional wise. I have friends who are 72 with grandchildren. I have friends who are 19 and transferring. I have friends who are from all different walks of life, and I'll carry that with me forever.
All right. Just going off of what you were saying, Adam, I was actually kind of thinking about that today before you even mentioned it, kind of the transformation that BCC offers you. And in the most blank way possible, I don't know if this will make sense, but I felt like I was going to high school. I feel like a student at BCC.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I do.
Billboard stuff
Billboard,
there.
right there. Schwa, take a note. Write this down. We need to capture that. That was wicked good. Are you kidding? That's wicked good.
That was so good.
It's
so
true.
Good.
I mean,
feel like a student at BCC. I love it. I love it. Anyway, sorry. I got really excited.
No.
But make that a TikTok clip.
I know, right? But it's true. I mean, I really went to high school for my parents. I would freak out, stay up late nights because I didn't study, didn't do my homework, and it was all for them so they'd get off my back. But now I'm going to BCC on my own accord. Everything I've done is for me, and it's really taking my own destiny and taking it into my control, and not just doing it for someone else.
Self-authorship, as the theory says.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know we're at the end of a segment. I want, as we come back, I have a question for you to ponder during the break. I tomorrow in real life, but I think by the time folks listen to this, our new president will have been officially named. And as student leaders, I guess the thing I'd like for you to think about over the break is, what advice do you have for her as she starts as the president of what is a really special place? So we'll be right back after this.
Join us as we celebrate a remarkable legacy. Berkshire Community College invites you, every single person listening to this podcast, to a special community celebration honoring President Ellen Kennedy, Thursday, June 4th from 4 to 6 p.m. on campus in the Robert Bolin Theater. After more than a decade of leadership, innovation, and impact, we're coming together to say thank you and to celebrate the future. Enjoy remarks, reconnect with the community, and be part of this meaningful moment. This event is free and open to all. Learn more and RSVP at berkshirecc.edu/retirement.
And welcome back. Had the question at the end of our last segment. I believe by the time folks are listening to this, Harris Charlier is going to have been announced as our next president.
Yep.
Does listen to the podcast, or at least did during the process that she interviewed. So you may actually be giving her this advice, Bree and Nick, but what advice do you have for our new president as she transitions in?
I would say to get as connected as you can with the student body. Even though we just show up and you guys facilitate everything that goes on here, student body is, I think, very important. And I've noticed how important it really is for something community-based like our school. And I think getting connected, getting feedback from them is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off what Nick said and say don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to get in it with the events, with the outdoor lawn games, with the competitive, things we have on campus. I also just want to add to that and say, don't be afraid to mingle with the student body, the staff, and the faculty in the same spaces. Having events and things that cater to everybody, strengthening those bonds in between not just you and the students, but the students and the faculty and the staff could be super important.
That's really great advice. We often like to kind of finish our question to our guests. What is something in media that you're currently into? A TV show, a podcast, a movie, a book that you're reading?
last night I watched Sinners, which was
Really?
super good.
It was super good.
Before I went into it, I was like,
Not seen it yet.
no way
Really?
this beat Marty Supreme. Like, no way.
I didn't see Marty Supreme because
I didn't either.
I'm anti-Chalamet right now after his comment about
That
the,
was
Oh,
his mother
theater.
and his sister he was insulting, by the way.
So I'm good with him. A little bit too much Kardashian for him, I think, to get him where he is. So,
Yep.
Exactly.
But Sinners was fantastic.
It was really good.
And the music, talk about like one of the best soundtracks. Like
I'll
ever.
have to
That
put
was
that on my
phenomenal.
list.
It was
It is
so
on my
good.
list. I'll have to actually pull the plug.
It was so funny. It's not true. This isn't a spoiler warning, but I thought it was based on a real story at the end. So I'm like texting my girlfriend. I'm like, it's based on a real story. She's like, what are you talking about?
The vampires.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what happens in the South. I've been up here my whole life.
That's a good point. actually.
Historically, a little bit. I just finished, I think it was All Her Fault on Peacock. It's a crazy, like, business suburban,
I
like,
haven't seen that yet. I meant to.
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
good,
Yeah.
Jonah. The twists and turns, like, these people are messed up.
Yeah.
Like, the higher up you go in, like, the business finance world, it gets crazy.
And that's our Siobhan from Succession, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
So good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, it's getting real in Oathbringer for me.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just finished Rhythm of War.
Oh, you're going
I
a lot
just
faster
finished
than
it.
I am.
And Rhythm of War, I'm just going to give forewarning, the first 800 pages. Oof.
It was a slog.
Yeah, but then the last 400 pages, I couldn't stop. I'm like obsessed. It was very Dragon Ball Z. That's how good it was.
Oh, you like Dragon Ball?
Well, of course. Everyone who doesn't like Dragon Ball?
I did not know this. I didn't know you guys liked anime.
Oh, shout out to the anime club, which I am a part of every Thursday at 2:00. We've watched so much this semester.
We may finally have gotten a little conversation that my 18-year-old will be interested in. Like, just listen to the last segment.
Just the last segment. And also, what we just did is called Making Connections. Well done, everyone.
Community.
Exactly.
All right, guys, this has been perfect. So thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank
for our
you.
show.
Thank you for having
us.
us.
It was really, really great to get to know you better, Bree, and Nick, to meet you, and
Yeah, it was a
look
pleasure.
forward to seeing you around. Hope that everybody is doing well with the kind of transformation of the world as it wakes back up. I know there was snow this morning, Bree, but
Oh my lord! I woke up this morning. I was like, "Don't be so for real for me."
but spring is here, and it's a time of rejuvenation and rebirth. And I hope that you get to do that in any way that you do it personally. And we always appreciate you being a listener. And if you have someone that you think we should bring onto the show, or you yourself would like to do it, just reach out to Jonah or myself.
The anime club.
There you go. I will be in touch. You've been listening to this podcast. Could have been an email from Berkshire Community College.
Special thanks to my co-host, Adam Klepetar, for never staying on script and always making the show better with his curiosity. Special thanks to Nick and to Bree for helping us create one of the best shows we've done yet, and congratulations to you both on all the exciting things coming your way. Special thanks, as always, to Alzi Mercado, without whom I wouldn't know how to turn on the music board, and to Dave Cachet at PCTV for continuing to distribute our show. Special thanks this week to Schwab Visser for providing the edits to the audio and an air horn. Much appreciated, my guy. And finally, special thanks to you, dear listener, for your totally buggin' support for our wee little podcast. My name is Jonah Sykes, and you're listening to this podcast Could Have Been an Email from Berkshire Community College.